Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Can you let me know if the video is on? And then I am going to kick off the broadcast because I cannot tell if I'm on because I am not used to doing this and YouTube is telling me to connect and I think I'm already connected. OMI Queen is here. So as soon as you let me know that you can hear, I'll start my new broadcast music and kick off, and we'll take a look at the market. All right. We've got a couple other people here. Can somebody confirm that I am on and that I have audio? Sound is good. Very good. All right. I'm going to kick off my new theme song. Check my settings. Set up the YouTube or the trading view. And we're going to jump right in. Here we go. Be right back. All right. It looks like we have everything good to go. Can you hear my voice over this music? Also, let me know. This is my new theme song. I just love it. This is my favorite one that I've ever used. It'll be used for all of my new live broadcasts. So in a second here, we're going to jump right into the chart and see what's going on with this massive Bitcoin dump. Okay, so we've got a few people here tonight. We got Joshua Truong. Oh, my queen is in the house. What's up? Camille is here. Shook Focus is in the house. All right, so everything is looking good. All right, well, if you don't know it, this is Carlton Flowers, and I am your Crypto Pro. Yay! And we are going to jump in and get an overview of what is going on. All right, so take down the mic. Let me know if I need to turn the mic down a little bit because I don't have any feedback. I can set the gain on the mic. I know that music was probably a little bit loud, so everything sounds good. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this chart and lay out what's going on, and then I will come back and forth and check out the comments, because as I'm looking at the chart, I can't see the comments because I am not at the point yet where I'm super good at this. So I'm going to put my drawing mode program up on the screen so I can sketch some arrows and make some designations, and maybe we'll start with the 1-day chart. We're going to start with the 1 day. There we have it. So here is Bitcoin on the 1-day candlesticks, and we're sitting at 35,900 bouncing around here. This is just phenomenal. I was scratching my head as I'm going through the prices, and we'll run through them, and it's because my heart rate is up and my blood flow is up, and that's why you scratch your head when you're in super thinking mode. All right, so let's get some drawing going on here. I'm going to do a little full screen drawing, and let's just look at what we have. So a ways back, I had drawn in this parallel trading zone that you can see designated by the 2 parallel red lines, and we can extend this. Let's just go ahead and extend this so I can show you how we have clearly busted it, which is not a good indication for bouncing within the zone. It's getting a little bit anxious as we've fallen through the bottom. We wicked through it once below, but now we're closing a couple of candles below that line, and we are down at the bottom end of the lowest, not the lowest, here's the lowest one, it's down here, and I need to extend this out like so for future reference. But we are at the second to lowest support resistance zone, the bottom of it, 35,872 and counting. And on this one-day chart, we're going to scrunch down this MACD so we can see all of these indicators nice and clear. What do we have here? Well, first of all, this is a definitive move, and we are bearish at the moment. We have not officially crossed over into the oversold zone yet, and we're already at 35,000. So none of this is financial advice, by the way. I'm just showing you what I see on the charts and help you make sense of this and give you a different perspective so you won't be panicked. And if you're new into crypto and this is your first dump, I'll help you feel a little bit better. I had so many dumps, I get excited when this happens. I've been praying for this to happen since the first one, when the first COVID outbreak hit, when Ethereum went down to $90. I was going to buy 10 Ethereum that day. Yay! And I didn't. Because it popped up to 130 and I thought I'll let it slide back down to 90 and then I'll ape in and get 10. It never looked back. And of course we went to 4,800 and now we're dumping down. We're at 2,500 on Ethereum right now. Back to the chart. The slow line and the fast line oscillators on the stochastic. You have the %D, which is the orange. You have the %K, which is the blue. They are very divergent, meaning that we've got quite a bit of a gap here between the two lines, okay? When they are divergent, it confirms that momentum is shooting downward, all right? And both lines are straddling the 20 line, which means that we are not officially yet in oversold zone. According to the one-day chart, that means we've got the ability to go down further south. I'm thinking this next support resistance zone is coming. That's at 32,000. That's the next point that we can find out if we're going to find a bottom or continue sailing down. Anything is possible, and I'm not predicting that it's going to bounce here or that we're going to go way lower. I don't predict. I just look at the chart and tell you what we're looking at the moment. At this moment, we're moving downward. Second indication is right there. Do you see this crossover on the oscillators with the MACD? See how the fast line crossed over the slow line right there? That, along with the histogram printing the red bars again, tells us that we can continue downward. How far can it go? Well, we still have quite a bit of ways that these oscillators can move down, and they lag the oscillators on the stochastic. You can use RSI, you can use stochastic, you can use MACD. I don't use the RSI oscillator. Why? Because I'm just not used to it. I don't study it enough. Some people are great at it. I'm not. I get enough information from the stochastic and the MACD because that's what I learned and cut my teeth on when I was observing the stock market on the OTCBB and NASDAQ small cap stocks back in 1999 when the dot-com bubble was forming and when it burst in the year 2000. And I found out that I was very good at kind of getting an idea of which direction that things were going. And then there are other indicators that I use. One is on balance volume and another is the Bollinger Bands. And those tell me when breakouts are about to happen. And they also tell me when people are loading up and there's consolidation or when there is unloading going on. All right, so anyway, we're moving down. Both of these indicators say we're going down, combined with the price action dumping, combined with breaking the lower limit of the parallel trading zone that I have delineated up here, combined with the breaking of this recent big fat volume node right here. We fell off of this one, so we're slipping on down to the next one, combined with all of this red volume. So every indication on this chart says we're going down. All right, does that make sense? I'm going to briefly jump over here and look at the comments and see what is up. Okay, let's scroll on down. We've got Jonathan in the house and Joshua. Let's see here. Used to invest 80 to 90% of your paycheck into crypto. Wow. KDA, ADA, Flux, those are good ones. Definitely good ones. Yeah, Flux is pretty solid right now, even though it's going down. Flux and KDA is quite a combination. ADA is a good one too, and these are good times to invest into those. Maybe not today, because we're going to continue to go down. Oh, my queen says 35,000. Oh, my word. Are we sure it's not an incoming bear market? No, we're not sure. And that's one thing that I can tell you. Don't trust people that say that they know what's going on, because they don't. I say, don't worry about if it's a bear market or a bull market. I say DCA and watch the charts. Like right now, I'm waiting until we get some type of a break where we settle down before I start to do the DCA game, and then I'll just start picking stuff up. I did sell my Litecoin for a little bit of a loss just so I can kind of tether up, or actually USDC or USD on Coinbase Pro, so I can wait a while as it's dipping. But most of this stuff, I'm still in the black, because the way I buy this stuff, I don't buy into runs, guys. I don't buy during these crazy wild bull markets. I buy in times like this. I buy in the dog days, and this is not the dog days yet. The dog days is when they're laying low down on the ground, all right? And I'll tell you more about what that means in a minute. Now we're going to flip. Let's go back to this chart here, and let's scrunch down the MACD, because I want to show you something. Look at the position of the MACD here compared to where it was back here in May. It was at negative 5,000. So we're sitting here at about negative 2,100. This is what's happened before, so it's possible that we sail all the way down here to this 5,000 point before we start to move back up. We can look at the 1 week before I jump into the immediate and the 4 hour, just so I can make another point. And when you look at the big picture right here, this says it all and tells you what's possible. Look at the bearishness of this. The oscillators are divergent on both. We've had a crossover here, and we sailed all the way down. It almost tried to reverse here, and it didn't. It tried to reverse here, and it unleashed itself and went back into the negative direction again. And after this crossover, hey, big divergence from here to here, and we're printing these bars deep down in the negative on the histogram. All right, when you look at this, you can see the 50 EMA there. We broke that. We can see the 200 EMA right here. So let's just make us a nice little line at the 200 EMA for you guys. And we can say that, you know, it's probably going to do something like this. And then at some point, the bearish action will start to average it down, and it could do something like this. It could. Or it might continue back up. Now, the orange one will kind of extend it, where it's already in a negative slope, so it's going to start doing this. And what they're saying is they're projecting that we could have a death cross like that. If we continue in this direction, we will get that death cross at this point. And that's the point where they say that, you know, you can have like a capitulation event that we've had before. You remember back in, what was it, 2018 or 19, when the capitulation happened, where the price is doing this, and this, and this, like a little ball bouncing on a table. And then when it settled down after the death cross, it went boop, and that's when we went to 3,000, and then we tore up from there. Well, that's what could happen. So worst case scenario, we could jump down to these lower volume nodes. Now, notice that we're right here, okay? We're in the thick of this volume node. But with these bearish indications, and if these averages continue to move down, we could have a death cross, and then you could be looking at this node and this one. It's possible. So when we check out those prices, this one's sitting at 22,000. It's possible. It may not be probable. And then you got one at 18. I don't think we'll make it all the way down here to 10,000, but the point of control is at like 9,700. Can it happen? Sure. Will it happen? Maybe not. If you look at it, we could be messed up all the way through spring, or maybe even May. If this death cross happens, that's shooting out into April, but we could reverse by then. Now, if I had to guess, probability says that it's not going to do that we might do something like this and then recover and start to continue. okay, and then of lower probability is continuing down and death cross and then bouncing into this lower range, or bouncing down to here to these volume nodes and coming back up. So eventually it's going to come back up. And the DCA method says that you're supposed to buy at critical points. Like if we fail this price right now, we could start buying a little bit here. And if we make it to the death cross, we buy a little bit there. If we continue down, we buy a little bit here. And then it reverses, buy a little bit more instead of aping in at certain points and spending all your money. So if you bought in here like that, you would end up with an average price of whatever you're buying right in here where this green line is. That's how you DCA. So when you look at this in the long term and then you look out to the end of 2022 or even next year, once it rebounds, what difference does it make? Because you're going to be in the profit from that point on. And that's why you shouldn't panic when you see these immediate things that are happening like we got what we have going on right now. All right, let me jump back into the comments. South 97 North, thank you very, very much. Yay! I super appreciate that super chat. Thank you for helping me to cover the costs of providing these videos. That's great. American Yen says, turned off brother Kevin Samuels for this live stream. Well, I am honored, brother Yen. Thank you very much. That makes me feel really good. Okay, let's get back into the 4-hour chart. We'll start with XRP. This stinks. XRP is at 62 cents. The lawsuit is dragging things on. I had 2,500 XRP back in the day, and I was buying as low as 28 cents. I started buying the first time when XRP was 4 cents, and I sold when it got into the 20s because I got spooked back in 2017 when it was coming down after the peak. Wow, can you imagine if I would have held? See, that's the lesson that you learn. When you buy at the low points, you hold. Now, once this capitulation is done and you get into the dog days, that's when the price does this and then we're languishing down here. Let's say it's down here. That's the dog days, okay? And that's when you're lying low on the ground like a lazy dog. And he's just, here's our little doggy, okay? We've got some dog ears there. Here's our pooch, my terrible drawing. And so this dog is just sitting here. He's lazy and he is lying on the ground and he's just chilling, minding his business. And while he's being lazy and lying on the ground, that's when you invest. That's what I call the dog days. When you buy in the dog days while everyone else has given up on investing, you're going to go straight to the bank. And I can tell you story after story of projects that I've bought in the dog days, like Doge at 0.0025 back in 2018, and I sold out at 0.0035. I had 200,000 Doge. Now, what would have happened if I would have just left that and forgot about it? Set it and forget it. I could have sold out at the peak at 70 cents, and I'd have a big fat wad of cash in my pocket. And I can sit here and tell you project after project that I bought in the dog days and prematurely sold. And that's the lesson that you have to learn. Stop being impatient and stop trying to get rich overnight. Here's Bitcoin looking at this lower limit. We have wicked down and touched the bottom, but now we're headed back towards the bottom of this range here. If we fall out of the bottom of this one, then we're going to look to the next one down. That bottoms out, has a bottom of 32,000 and change. Ethereum is shocking. Wow. To think that we have come down off of 4,800 and here we are falling below this volume node of $2,593. We're going lower. Okay, Litecoin I bailed out just about a half hour ago at 110. I had this last, couple Litecoins at 143 and sold. So it is looking bearish. It's still going down. Matic, man, $1.63. It's so tempting to grab a little bit. Now, Matic is another story where I was going to buy in at 10 cents and I hesitated and then it blew up and I kept waiting for it to correct and it never did. So then I finally bought in at about $1 and then I bought more at $1.50, then more at $2, then more at $2.50. Way when it was at $2.50. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to wait for it to go back to $1 or lower, and then I'm going to buy a pile of it at $1 or so to counteract what I bought at $2.50 to average that price down. So it corrects your mistakes for you. Here's Solana. I was first going to get into Solana at 25 bucks. It shot to 35, and I thought I'd missed the boat, so I'm going to wait for the correction, and it went to 250. So then it came down. I bought in at 125. It rose up to 200. I sold out at 178. I don't have any now. So now we're at 104, and I'll let this continue to go down. It's bearish. There's the crossover. MACD is looking very bearish. KDA. I got in at $1.78 and bought 200. I bought 20 more at $25. So what do I have to do? Wait for this to settle and get a pile to average down the mistake that I bought in at 25, which I only got like 10. So if I get 100, I'll erase that mistake and average that down. Here's Flux. Flux looks like it's bottomed here on the 4-hour, but on the 1-day chart, it doesn't look like it. It could still go down, so don't be fooled. This could go lower. And if we miss this, we're at the ledge here. There's another volume node sitting at 142. If it fails that, you got 123. And then after that, all bets are off. It could go down below $1. Coval. My dollar average cost of Coval is 9 cents. It's at 5.8. I'm going to grab more of this when it gets done, but it's looking ugly, folks. It's going down, and I'm going to get in and DCA. KRL. My average was $2 on this one. The high point was $5. We're below $1, 90 cents. I can get some more of it. I sold my bag of Chainlink at $28 way back several months ago. And I had first bought in at $10. My first chance to get Chainlink was at 53 cents, and it went to $1.50, and I thought I missed the boat. And so then I finally bought in at $10, and I sold for more than a double. Once it settles down back below 10, I might grab a little bit, maybe just get $100 worth, get 10 Chainlink. I've been swing trading Chainlink for a profit for the last, 2 or 3 years. AMP. Oh, this is looking so good. We're down to my original purchase price. I think my DCA on AMP is like 3 cents. I have like 40,000 AMP. I'm going to double that when it's done. You see that the stochastic is curling over. The blue line is looking like it wants to curl over, cross over, and it probably will. If we can get down below 2 cents, I'm doubling the bag. OMI. OMI can be your homie. And this is one that I don't worry about, but it looks like we could be dipping down here to this volume node at a half a cent. So for those people who haven't had a chance to get into OMI, you might have your opportunity coming up here pretty soon. My price of jumping in OMI is 0.0027. So I have no worries about it. If it goes below that, hey, that's a blessing. I'll grab another million. I have 1 million right now. CRO, man, 35 cents. What a bargain. And looking weak down here on the 4-hour. 1 day says crossover is here. It's going lower. So if you missed the boat on CRO, here's your chance. My DCA price on CRO is like 35 cents. I'm at my average. So the lower it goes, the more I can DCA it and bring down my average. And, my goal would be buy throughout the bear market. Let's see if we've got some comments here. No new comments. All right, let's continue on. If you have a question you can't ask on these projects that I'm showing you. Proton, back to a cent, man. I bought in at 0.008, and I will double the bag once it dips down below my entry level price. I like the Proton project. Here's XYO. I love it. And I've got the app on my phone. I even have the card. Let me show you the card where I get to mine the COIN, the coin token. There it is right there. Check that out. So this card verifies me on the app, and it's a geolocational deal where I go out and map and I mine geolocations using the app to earn free coin tokens that I can exchange for XYO tokens. Iotx moving down, 0.077. I started in on Iotx at 5 cents. It's bearish. It's moving down. All of these are just looking juicy and delicious for continuing their corrections. Anchor at 6.7 cents. I jumped in on it at 8 cents. I originally should have bought in an Anchor when it was at half a cent, and I didn't. I should have done it back in the dog days. Jasmine at 5 cents is below my entry level price of 6 cents. I'm going to let that sucker go as low as it wants, and I'm going to DCA on it. ACH. Oh, man, I bought in at 6 cents. My original purchase price was going to be at a half a cent. I waited 2 days and it blew up to 28 cents because it got listed on Coinbase. So what I always tell people is this: when you miss them, don't buy into a run, because they'll always come back to get you. Mark my words, it always happens. So instead of buying into runs and peaks and listening to all the dunderheads, the danderheads on YouTube that say, oh, the fundamentals are great, and institutional investors are adopting, well, it could never go down now because Chile's buying Bitcoin and Argentina's buying Bitcoin. It can't reverse. How many people were wrong with that advice that they gave to you, that crypto could not dump like what we are seeing right now? How many people were wrong? The majority of them, 90% of them, who swore Bitcoin couldn't go below 42,000. Even people that I like Benjamin Cohen, and he admits it, he was wrong. BitBoy has consistently been wrong. All of them have been wrong. Crypto Kirby is one of the few that at least says there's a 50-50 shot that this could capitulate and go down as low as 10,000. Now, it doesn't mean that it will go that low. All he's saying and all I'm saying is prepare yourself for the possibility. Don't invest without realizing that there's a chance that Bitcoin could go as low as 10,000 into this correction. Look at Uniswap, man, going lower, sitting at 1179. I bought back into Uniswap at 15, so I'm going to be DCAing that. HTR, I bought in at $1, sold at $2. It's a 69 cents. Man, I can't wait to jump back into that. But we're going to have to wait. UMB, I've got a bag. My average price on it is 72 cents, so I'm going to let it go to crap. And I will DCA that sucker right on down. Can't wait for that to happen. See, this is a blessing and it's an opportunity. And it doesn't matter how long the bear market, if this is a bear market, it doesn't matter how long that this lasts. It'll settle at some point. We go into the dog days, and then you can accumulate. And then when everybody starts running off at the mouth about how Bitcoin's going to 1 million, then you can sell out long before everybody else does, before a blow off top, and you can make yourself some money. Filecoin at $21. The first time I bought Filecoin, I think it was at $4, and I sold out at 21. And then it started to move up. I bought back in at 30. I sold out at 125. And then once it blew back down to 50, I started DCAing, and my average cost is $30. There's ASM. Look at my strike zone area here where I said I would buy. Now it's below that. It blew it. Look at this. Man, just dropped straight out the bottom. All right. I bought in at an average price of 11 cents. I'm waiting for it to continue to go down. Let me skip a few here and talk about PLA at 74 cents. It's going to be looking pretty at about 50 cents. I'll be waiting on it. GMEE at 12 cents. My average price is 25 cents. Gala, I think is an average of 40 cents of buying in. So I'm going to DCA down and get some more of it. ENS, Ethereum name service at $16. And you notice when you're looking at the stochastic and the MACD, they're all bearish. This is a slide. Keep, I bought in the first time, I think at 30 cents. I sold out at the peak somewhere around 80 cents. I don't have a bag now, but I will be jumping back in. DOT, $17. That's fantastic. I was buying DOT at like $2, and that was back in the day, and I sold out when it hit like 30, and then I started buying back in when it hit 20. BPro, I've got 30,000 at an average cost of 0.007, and I'm doubling it. I'm DCAing down on BPro. All of these have come back. Key, self-key, 0.006. I swing traded self-key ever since 2018. I turned a total investment of $400 to $600 into like $3,000. Sold it after it peaked at $5,000 and it was on the way down. I caught it at $2,500 in the slide. or I'm sorry, it went up. The value of the bag that I had was worth $2,500 when I sold it out. And then I diversified that across several different projects. XLM, 19 cents. We haven't seen that in forever. And it's still looking bearish. XCur is actually looking pretty good. It's nowhere near the bottom level of my cheapest purchase of $1. Tailcoin at 0.007. I'm loving it. This is like McDonald's time. I'm loving it. My average cost on Tailcoin is at 1.2 cents. My first inclination to buy Tailcoin was when it was at 0.003. If it makes it back down there, I'm aping in, baby. I'll get an extra job at McDonald's to pay for that bag. VeChain at 5 cents. Fantastic. I love it. VThor 0.00389. I have 50,000 at an average cost of 0.007 or 8. I have swing traded VThor for the last 3 years. I sold it for a 2x, a 4x, and a 10x. Okay, and this is my 4th time owning VThor. I'll buy them and sell them months to a year apart, sometimes 2 years. That's the way that I do it. I call it swing trading because I buy them at the low dog days and then I sell it at the peaks, and that's called a swing trade. It's not a day trade, it's a swing trade. VRA at 2 cents. I'd love to see it go back to a penny, and then I'll grab a big bag because that's an outstanding project. ADA looking so juicy at $1.08. Now here's another lesson learned. How many people have heard folks running off their mouth about how ADA was going to just explode in the last few days? Raise your hand if you've heard all the talk. And what is the price of ADA right now? That lets you know that fundamentals don't matter, that adoption doesn't matter. Institutional investors, it doesn't matter. When we have a worldwide market correction, all of that valuation crap goes out the window. So remember this, the next bull run, when everything is oversold, when we're 5 miles higher. Remember this moment, remember this day, that it is possible for your bags to go down 90%, and you will be wise and you'll thank yourself for that. All right, yes, Paul Coggins says, so many potential possibilities. Never thought they would present themselves. Isn't it exciting? Yeah. What to pick and when at the bottom. I tell you what, one thing you can do is get the projects that will survive a bear market, the ones that are the most solid. Now, if they have fundamentals and they're making money and they can pay the developers, the project team, and you have an indication that they'll make it through, like CRO, okay? Look at the money they spent on buying the Staples Center. They're going to be around. They're not going anywhere. They've got a great product, a great exchange. It ain't going anywhere soon, all right? It's kind of like the stock for Coinbase when they went public and it sailed down. Coinbase is not folding anytime soon. So when you look at projects like that, you know they're going to be around. So Young Rich bought CRO at 55 cents. Yeah, buy more, bring down that DCA. There you go. You're thinking right. FTM and Algorand. Algorand is one of my favorites. Let me just pull it up here. I sold Algorand for like a 3X. I haven't had it since then. But I love Algorand. Let's just look at it on. Man, I'm telling you what. After I sold out and then it started to move up again, let's just look at the 1-day chart so we can get these prices up here. I was like, dear God, if it ever comes back to $1, I can get it again, because here it was at $2.50. I got my wish. It's below $1 and it's going lower. So I'll probably jump back in to Algorand. That definitely will happen. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, let's look at some of the old favorites. Look at Marsh. Marsh is doing good. It's one of the few that is not playing the game with everyone else, and we're in an uptrend. Do you see that? Marsh is a good project. It's one of our metaverse projects. Gosh, I should have got in at this volume note at 40 cents. So that's a solid one. That's one that may do well, survive in a bear market. Who knows? Okay, Elron, man, this is one that people jump the gun on. Let's just show it, just so you can know how foolish some people can get. Look at this peak. Do you remember when it was above $500? And what happened? What happened? Think about all the talk back here during this peak. Think about all the big mouths saying jump on now and buy into this run. And what happened? Do you think any of them thought it was possible to come all the way back down to 130? No. Okay? Don't trust people when they talk about how these crypto projects will never come back again because we're so close to mass adoption. All right? That's my advice to you. Graph. I'm licking my chops. Okay, I bought and sold Graph. I bought Graph at first at like 30 cents and I sold out at, I don't know, $2-3. I bought back in at around $1, sold it out again at $1.50. I mean, I made money on Graph. Overall, like, I'm still up on everything, even though everything is so far down. I'll go back and tell you the ones that I'm in the black on still. Now we look at Block. At 2.6 cents. I'm waiting for Block to come all the way back down below the point of control at a 1.4 cent. Come on down, get sub penny, and I'm going to grab up some Block. The supply on this is way too big, and that's why I knew when it was above here at 18 cents. I'm like, yeah, people are going to get wrecked on Block. There's too much excitement and too much FOMO going on. So there's Block. Now Loom. I traded the pants off of Loom. I first bought into it at 2.3 cents way back when, and then I sold out in 2020 at like 4 cents maybe. I bought Loom maybe under a penny, and then I sold it 4 cents. Then I bought back in at 2 cents, and then it did this, went to 23, and I sold out. It did this and then it came back. I don't remember. I know I bailed out. I should have sold way back during here, and this is before I was convinced that I should have known better, that this run was ridiculous. This was a stupid run, and we should have known better. We should have sold everything last spring. And then I ended up selling at 11 cents while I was still up, 500%. But let Loom continue to come back down. I'll ape back in. It's sitting at near the point of control price. If we get down to this lowest volume node, 4 cents or below, I might get in only if they get the token, the new Loom token, listed into Coinbase Pro, because it has not been converted yet and it's over 1 year overdue. I will not get it unless they get the token, the new token swap done. DNT. I sold out of DNT long ago. I bought in DNT at first at 0.007. I sold it for a 10x, bought back in, sold it again for a 5x, bought back in, sold it again for a 2.5x, and then I just been watching it come down. District 0x is a good project, so just have to wait it out. Civic is another one. I jumped in Civic at 5 cents. I sold it like 50 cents. Just waiting on it to come back down. I'll ride it again. GNT, I bought in on that one at 10 cents and sold it like 50 cents. That was a good one. Harmony, I should have bought in at a half a cent and I didn't. I finally jumped in at 10 cents, sold at 30. Let's hope that comes back down, because that's a project that is a survivor. Okay, Ampleforth is cool. It's a rebase type of project. It'll bounce around this center line point of control of $1. You can't go wrong with it because it flexes. They increase and they decrease the supply based on the price and supply and demand. So that means you can only make so much, but you can only lose so much. TVK, man, 12 cents. Oh gosh, TerraVirtua.io. If you don't know about it, you better get to the website and look at it. It's an NFT site. Licking my chops. There's ARPA at 5 cents on Coinbase Pro. Mana. What a blessing. Now, Mana, I bought in at 5 cents. I sold out at $2, and then it did that. I was so upset. But now we're below the 200 EMA. If it comes back below $1, I'm aping in, because Mana is going to survive a bear market, guys. What was it? FT. Let me get back to the thank you, Poops McGee. My dog. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. FTM. Let me get back to FTM real quick. I do appreciate the super chat. FTM. Let's look and see what it is looking like on Bitfinex. That's strong. $2. Good Lord. That's not bad. FTM, Phantom. I should have bought into Phantom. I knew about Phantom back here. All right. Actually, it's not even on this chart. I knew about Phantom when it was at like 1.5 cents. Back in 2017. It was way long time ago, man. And then when it surpassed 3 cents, I thought I missed the boat. And then it did that. What a sad day. It's up 200x from the time that I could have bought it. So this was the dog days, and that's when I should have got it. It's below the 50 and it's headed towards the 200. It could get down to like $1.50. So I don't know. It's a great project. It'll be around. It's got good fundamentals. So it won't be gone anywhere. That's a good one. Hathor, I think I did Hathor. So it peaked out up here at 250. I sold out at $2. Let it get down here at about 50 cents, and I'll start DCAing that bad boy. Let me jump down to the bottom of the list. PBX. I'm liking this one. It's still overall in an uptrend. I want it to come back down towards a cent. I've already got a bag. I just picked up 2,000 at 1.5 cents, and I will DCA PBX. If you don't know about it, go look it up on, let's see. Let's just pull it up real quick. I want to show you this website. PBX is a cool project, man. I like what it's all about. And I love the website. Paribus. Here we go. Let's click on this right here, and you can read all about the project. It's DeFi. And we're talking NFT-fi, DeFi 2.0, DeFi combined with NFTs. It's just a cool project, and I love the website because I'm a graphics man. I love the graphics. I like how they explain things. It's very simple, and they're into not only just crypto NFT art, but music and domain names. Okay. So that's a pretty awesome project. Now let's jump back to the chat. Okay, Andre 5000 in the house, or is it 5,000? 500. Will ETH go under 2,000? Let's look at ETH and I'll check that out. Major support at 1,700. Let me see. All right, let's go jump on up here and pull up ETH. And we're currently at $24.95, lower than where we just started. Here's our price history. Let's scrunch it on down and look at the volume nodes. Here is that node right there. That's sitting at 1805. So I would say I'm going to go ahead and just grab a line, and I'm going to put it in at this. Wow. Okay. See, there's confluence there. If we put it right on the node, if I can get it on here, there we go. All right, and when you go all the way, oops, let me get the shift on. Now notice that in history we can find out that this is a significant point, because it was almost resistance here and it broke it right there, but then it failed it, so it was resistance again, see, in that area where it failed it. And then after once, twice, 3 times a lady, then it broke it and it went bull market, and then it became support. And look, it bounced on it as support right there. And then it bounced on it as support again. But now if we come up here, there's our once, twice, and if we get down here, it could be 3 times a lady. And if it fails that, what's going to happen? You're going to be down here at 1286. That's the worst case scenario. So if Bitcoin really screws up, we could see ETH going down to 1286. But the two volume nodes sticking out between those 2 points, we have support at 2300, which again, look at the line, guys. Look at the line. Let's put one at this volume node and then dial it back, and you will be able to see this, that we have an action point at this 2305. Let's put in the line at 2305. There it is right there. And let's draw. Okay, so we had resistance here. It bounced around it and then it blew off. So there's some action around the line there. It kind of blew through it a few times here, but it was basically somewhat support here. It was somewhat support there. And there's our once, twice, 3 times a lady. And it failed it here and went below. And then it was resistance there. and then resistance flips to support. It goes up and around. So it could be support right now. So watch out for that 2300 line. If it fails that, we're going to visit this area down here, or the last node before is at 2132. So we can put us another line in here at 2132 at this volume node on the VPVR. Dial it back. Let's see if we have any lines. It's more so bouncing here, and we see it bouncing there as support. So those all three are significant lines of support and resistance. Okay, let me erase that and go back to the comments. Let me know if that answers your question on ETH. The DOT chart looks like BTC. Let me pull up DOT. I'll tell you what, I'm still mad about selling my Polkadot. I was in at $2, man. $2 back in the good old days. Let's see how far back you have to scroll. See these lines? There's my fib circles and rings. This is when I first got into DOT. Down here at $2. Good Lord. And then when it did this, that's when I sold. All right. And then it came back to get me at 11 bucks. I bought back in. And then I sold. And then I bought back in here. And now we're below. It does look like the Bitcoin chart. Let's go forward a little bit. All right. Now, we can see a line that we need to put in here that is at the volume node at 16 bucks. 16 bucks is one. We're at a critical point right now. If it fails this line, we're going lower, because we can see it was failed as support and it was resistance for a while, then it broke it, so now it should test it as support. If it fails that, we got another big one down below at $9.71. Let's put a line there so we remember that on the next live stream. $9.71. If we make it there, we got trouble. And we can see, look on this chart right now, we can see it. There it was, support right there. So we'll find out, will it be support again right here, okay? It was, the resistance was right there. See that? It was resistance, and it blew through it. And then support once, and this could be the twice, and it could bounce up and out of that. We'll wait and see. All right, so let's turn drawing mode off and get that next question. Okay, so can we look at MOVR and Kusama? Sure, yeah. All right, MOVR. Mover on Binance should be a good one. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, that's not looking good. That's looking ugly. That's coming down. Is it listed somewhere else? Okay. Oh, it's looking even worse on this one. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, let me draw some lines on here for you. We got the point of control price that is a support and resistance zone, and that's a fail, man. Okay, let's put it in right here at the volume node at the point of control, and you can see that it is a critical point of support and resistance, where it was resistance, and then boom, it killed it. Now we came back down, and it was support for so long all throughout here, but it hung out on the line too long and it failed it. Good Lord. The next point is right there. Let me draw in a line right here at this volume node at 82 bucks. You can see that coincides with where it stopped right here. If it fails that, I don't know where it's going to land. So now is really not a good time to be buying that one. Yikes. That's kind of scary. Very scary. All right. Let's go to the next one. You said Kusama, I believe. KSM. I wish I had bought it back in the day before it went bananas. I first learned about Kusama. Oh, man. It was down here in the $30 range, and then it did this, of course. All right, let's see where we're at. This is looking ugly. Yeah, this is ugly. It's going to get ugly. All right, let's throw some lines on here and tell you where we're at. We're way below this node, way below this node. We failed this one. That's current point of control. When you scrunch in the volume, this is the overall point of control, but this is just showing where these nodes are. So I'm going to put a line in here. This is now resistance. Boom, we failed it. We failed it. It was support here, failed it, resistance, blew through it, and now we failed it as support. It didn't even save it. After blowing through this, it should have been supported one more time, and it didn't. So your next volume node is way down at 109. And when we pull it back, let's get our line on there at 109. Oh man, look at that. You can see it right here where it fooled around and consolidated, and then it launched. So that's the next catch point, and then below that you've got a possible point at 74, and then 52, and then the point of control overall is at 31. It could do that. It's possible. We'll have to see if it could save itself at this 213 node, if it can snatch itself back up. We'll wait and see. All right, now sushi. Yeah, I used to look at sushi. I think I first was looking at sushi like way back in the day. I don't get too much into sushi slop too much more, because I first knew about sushi back here when it was like at $1. So that was after I did all this stuff, I was like, nah, I missed the bandwagon. This thing is in a long-term distribution. This is not looking good. If you looked at the on-balance volume, it would probably show distribution ever since this blow-off top. This is totally not good, because overall, it's just doing this. Okay, and we're below. You got a death cross right there. There's your death cross. You had a death cross here, and then a golden cross, and then you had a death cross there, and it's obeying this death cross like crazy. This one was an artificial death cross, but this one is for real. And that's on the one-day chart. Divergence on, good Lord. Oh, man, those are coming apart. And both of these are in a negative trajectory. That's not good. Oh, man. Yeah, and price is even below this support here, right there and there, and now it's below this support. We even wicked down to here. It's going to test it. It could go down to like $2. There's nothing to catch it. You don't see any popular volume here. There's no node sticking out right there to catch this thing. Man, let's just zoom in on it a little bit and see what it looks like this way. Yep, you got a big old slip zone there. There's nothing underneath here. And this is weak. It looks like we wanted to cross over on the stochastic, and it's flattening out. And then MACD oscillators are just divergent, and they're looking negative. So, man, sushi. I'm not buying. I don't like sushi. It's gross. So I certainly won't be buying that. Ecomi, I did that one, but I'll pull it up again just to show you. I don't worry about Ecomi at all. Then I'll go backwards. I skipped a few comments there. I'll get you. So Ecomi is still in an overall uptrend, and it's not obeying the crash like everything else. Because look at this. Since the listing here, when we've got the data, good God. You see this? Overall, it's on a tear. Okay? We don't have a 200 on here yet because there's not enough history, but it's above it. And here's the peak, and now we're obeying this, and this could sail on down like this. But we've got some nice nodes underneath. So if we make us some lines, we have a node sticking out right here that could catch price. And see, there's so much going on with Ecomi. They're in the booming stage right now where they're about to become a household name, and it's at a time where fundamentals can make a difference, and it can go against the market because NFTs aren't playing with cryptocurrency and following the slide. A lot of these NFTs are doing whatever they want to do right now. Okay, here's another one right there. Okay, so we've got support at 0.0056 and then at 0.0052. If it fails that, You got another line here that has previous support resistance that is very significant at this one right here, 0.0045. All right, that is very significant, guys. You can see on the chart that it was support right here. Okay, I want to circle here. It was support there. It was resistance here, and it broke resistance right there. So it could come down, and that could be the support. Now, if it disobeys that, your next one down would be, and some people are praying for this, 0.0037 is your next one. Support resistance, man. Look at it. It's right there, staring you in the face. Because right here, it was support, and if it fails this, it could come down. It's probably going to be support again. I don't think it's going to go below that. This could be the absolute worst case scenario coming down to there. I don't think you're going to get a chance at 0.003, but that's worst of the absolute worst case, which is still good because that's still above my entry price. I bought in at 0.0027. So that's why I'm not concerned with OMI. I mean, I got 1 million of it. That's a set in and forget it. And never worry about it. I don't worry about that. And I'm not selling it for at least a year or 2 or 3, maybe 5. Because that's going to be worth $1 million to me sometime. All right, let's go back to the questions. And let me pick up the next couple that I skipped. Okay, so we did KSM, we did sushi, Gala. Yeah, I did that one, but let me just jump back and tell you that I've got a bag. Let me scroll down and find it. Gala's a great project. You know, it can come down to the point of control price. It can get down here to 10 cents. That's possible. We need to put a line on there so we can have it to know that this is a very significant support. Okay, because you see it was consolidating along this and it was hitting it as resistance many times and then it blew it. So it could be support here. And if it fails that support, you got your next node of Gala coming down to 2.4 cents. Right there where the party started. And it could do that. A lot of these altcoins, they can give up 90%. Okay, I mean, it's possible. This would be almost 100% really. So I don't think it'll fail here at 10 cents, but not to say that it ain't possible. But now's not the time to be buying it because you see there's nothing catching it here. We're below the only node sticking out right there at 23 cents. So I'm going to DCA the crap out of this thing. Once we get here, that's when I'm going to start buying again at 9 cents, and I'll continue to buy through 2.5 cents. That's Gala. Now, let's go back to the questions. Okay, BAL, is that Balancer? Let me pull up Balancer. Tether, US. Balancer kind of looks cool, but it's in a slip zone. I mean, the peak was 70. Its point of control is at 21 on this chart. It's below the point of control. It's below the 50 EMA. It's below the 200 EMA. We had a death cross right here. It looks like it's wanting to cross over there, though. So let's dial back to the... let me pull this up like this. On the 4-hour. Yeah, it could bounce. It might be bouncing up. It might find support here. It's possible because this is a crossover there. And then when you look at the 1 day, it's looking like it wants to cross over here. Not to say that it can't. The one indicator that's saying it might not and this could unfurl is the MACD is looking bearish. So this could do this. And you see how far down it was here. So if this does this, you could have an up cycle. And here's how you do it. What you do is you follow this thing, and as this moves up to here, you look at the corresponding price. And I'll tell you what, when you get up to that price line, if price does this at this peak and it does something like that, where here's peak stochastic and peak price is right here, you're coming way down, fella. You're coming way down, and then this is going to rule the day right there. That's how you're going to do it. So watch out. When this crossover happens, look, because this could fake you out. So if we print a lower low, and you know there's a ton of them on here, let's scrunch this down. Here's the thing about it. Let's get this down here. You are in a massive downtrend, all right? Now, okay, you had the blow off there. You had a way lower low, but then a higher low, and then a lower low, lower low, lower low. So once this comes all the way up, if you print a lower low, bye-bye birdie, it's going down. and it's going to be at an amazing low price. Very low price. All right, so that's Balancer. Potential topic, top 10 crypto coins that will still be around in 2, 5, 10 years and reasons why. Okay, and I'm not an expert at that. I can just give you my opinion. You know, there's certain projects. I think KDA has Bitcoin potential because it's proof of work but acts like the proof of stake projects. Okay, it has the security of proof of work and the scalability of proof of stake. They solved the trilemma. Look up the trilemma and KDA and you'll see why, if you want to do your research on that. Yeah, we did OMI twice. Just catch the replay, Young Rich. OMI is fine. We'll be fine on that. It's one that's disobeying the downtrend, and it could test like a half a cent. But anyway, I don't worry about that. Should I sell everything and buy back in the next few days? That's dangerous. You can if you want. I mean, I don't. I'm not selling anything at this point. I sold my Litecoin, but I'm not doing that. You don't lose anything, and that brings me to my next point. Let me go back to Bitcoin. I'm going to teach you a lesson here. This is something for everybody. I really want you to understand. Let me get a fresh Bitcoin chart so I can make this point. Let's pull it up on Femex, maybe. No, let's go. Okay. We're already on the Coinbase one. Yeah. So I need a different one. BTC Binance. All right. Here we go. And this is the Binance one-day chart. All right. Now, pay close attention and get out your pencils and paper. I'm going to learn you in something right here. Okay? Pay very, very close special attention. Pay attention. You're going to learn something very, very tremendous right here. Very tremendous point coming up. Okay? If you learn this, you're going to be a very wise investor. Very wise. All right. Here's the thing. You think that you need to sell now and buy at the low. You can get wrecked doing that. You should not really be selling for a loss and trying to snatch up unless you're really a seasoned veteran. If you're selling at a loss and waiting for a dip, you lose a lot of money. Not financial advice, but you better watch yourself. So what's the difference here? Let's say you bought in here on Bitcoin at the peak and you FOMO'd, and then you're thinking, oh, I got to sell here, because most people are going to sell right now because they're scared to death. They want to cut their losses. That's what they do. What are you losing? Okay, because I'm going to draw a line on here. And let's just say Bitcoin does this. All right. If you're not selling and you ride this out, it's going to come back until you're at a profit. Time is on your side. It ain't going anywhere. The markets always go up. They always do. That's what history has shown us. But here's the thing. What is the value of your crypto compared to everybody else? It's the same. So all the people who bought right here, all of their bags have devalued the same as yours right here. We're all in the same boat. So why are you selling? Huh? Think about that. Let's look at the dollar chart. This is going to even make it more clear to you. You'll really get it when I show you on the DXY. Here's the point, guys. Let's put it on the 1 week so I can really make this point. Okay? Here is the point. You go to McDonald's, right? And you want to buy on the dollar value menu. And let's say they created the dollar value menu at this point in history, right there. Okay? That's your $1 cheeseburger. What do you notice happens whenever the DXY, when the dollar loses its value? So let's say that between the time that we're at this peak and right here, the government prints a buttload of dollar bills. Let's say they print $500 billion. What happens? The DXY shows it that the value of the dollar goes down. And this is just from world trading, right? Because people are betting against the dollar as it's sliding down. Now, here's the dollar right there at a lower value. What happens to the dollar menu at McDonald's? They change it. it becomes the $1.59 menu. What happens at Wendy's when you see DXY go down? Here, look at this, guys. When I was going to Wendy's, which was my favorite fast food restaurant because I can get a burger wrapped in lettuce. Last year in March, I was buying it like crazy. I loved my Wendy's, okay? So I would get my cheeseburger wrapped in lettuce. It was $1.79 right there on the value menu. And then the dollar decides to do this. And then we end up right here. You know what happened when it hit here? Well, guess what? I go to Wendy's, I go through the drive-thru, I get my $1.79 junior bacon cheeseburger. And here's what happened. When I used to get my junior bacon cheeseburger, that meat patty was, let me make a rectangle because theirs are square. The meat patty was this thick. Now pay attention, guys. After this happened and we get to this date, since then I go and all of a sudden the meat patty in my favorite burger was like paper thin, and it stank because Wendy's has fresh meat and they don't freeze it, and they brag about that. But since they changed it and now it was this thin meat doesn't keep because it's not frozen. And so they couldn't keep selling that thing for $1.79 when the dollar has lost its value. So they made it paper thin, and then it rots before it can get in my little bag and I can eat it. So the value of the dollar went down and it doesn't buy as much. But everybody's dollar won't buy as much after that point. Everybody gets the paper thin Wendy's $1.79 junior bacon cheeseburger by that point. So what's the difference between that and crypto? Now, let's go back to the crypto chart. And you tell me something. Here's Bitcoin at 35,000 and everybody wants to sell and panic. But what does this chart really look like when you factor in the value of the dollar? All right? What is it looking like when you finally compare the fact that back during this time period, this glorious time period here, let's say between this era here and then moving forward to over here, how many more dollars were printed? Somewhere during this time, we had like $1 trillion printed and dumped into the world economy. $1 trillion. So how are you going to tell me that all things are equal? There's no such thing as a stable coin worldwide. The dollar if the dollar, the US dollar is the trading standard for the world, and we print an extra trillion, then the dollar is worth 50 cents. It's not even stable. What's your frame of reference? And USDT is based on the value of the dollar. USDC is based on the value of the dollar. Somebody tell me why we trip when we sit here and watch Bitcoin go from 60,000 down to where we're at right now, 35,000, and you think it's going down. It ain't going down. If we double the money supply, okay, and we were at 60,000, well, by God, we're going to end up at like 30,000 or somewhere around there, because everything has to correct, because you're going to have to slice that big old Bitcoin patty, and it's going to have to get thinner because they can't serve it to you in the same amount when the standard of trading has been destroyed by printing. Does that make sense? Let me jump over to the comments. I want to see if anybody's getting this, if this makes sense. Nobody has said anything. I don't know if anybody's still on. Post in the comments here and tell me if you understood that point. Hopefully on the replay, and I'm going to have to chop pieces of this video out and repost it because I want everybody to understand that point that I just made. It is 12:56 a.m. Only the tough ones are still in it right now. I really hope that people understand that point that I just made. I really do. Now, if I'm looking on here, it says that there are 0 viewers. I might not be on at all. I think they cut me off. I might be beyond the time limit. So let me know in the chat. Oh, been listening, so I'm still on. Okay, so I'm glad that was on there, that point has been made. That is all I've got. If anybody has a parting question, let me know. but I think we've covered it all, and hopefully that helps you to understand. And if you are watching the replay, post in the comments if that analogy helps you make sense of this and if it makes you feel better about this nasty slide. And that's just about all I've got. And I sincerely want to thank everybody for the super chats. Up doing a home project. Okay, so you're up. That's good. Awesome. Carl is in the house. Thank you, sir. Oh yeah, gotta love them cheeseburgers, man. Bacon cheeseburgers is my joint. Love y'all too, man. Thank you very much. Paul is still in the house. Okay, I see y'all. There's like a 30-second delay between the broadcast and when the comments come in, so understood and agree. Excellent. Yeah, Wendy's was my thing. They really hurt my feelings because those burgers, they're nasty. They rot before you can get it. It just smelled like stank feet last time I got it, and they messed up my french fries too. Renee Reyes is in the house. Thank you very much. Well, until next time, I might broadcast Sunday night after the Chiefs game, and I might possibly go live on Monday so we can kind of keep you updated. And I'm going to be shooting for once a week. That is the goal, once a week. And let's see here. I'll put on some nice parting music for you here as we go. And let me make sure the volume is not up too high. That's my new live broadcast theme song right there. You are very welcome, Paul Coggins. I'm just glad that you all were here. Project Lil Rocks does great work and overall analysis during these intense times. It was very helpful. Excellent. Thank you. I'm glad for that feedback. Well, this is Carlton. I am your crypto pro. And let me give you one more thing to check out. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of my NFT that I am creating. I will be creating my own NFTs and a platform to sell them, and they're going to have value. That's my goal. I'm into VV. As you know, I'm a big VV guy, but I'm going to be creating an NFT that brings you value, and I'm going to be giving you something that will make it worth you getting it. You're going to get something very special from it, and this is what it looks like right here. And it's not moving. It's supposed to be moving. Hang on one second. Let me clear this. All right. Well, at any rate, this is a 3D rendition, and I'll have to. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's why. Downloads. Let's see. Here it is right here. There it is. Is that not the coolest thing you have ever seen? That is the first Crypto Pro 3D NFT, and I'm going to sell this, and you're going to get something for it that will make it worth it. It's not going to be like CryptoPunks or whatever that are worthless, useless, and you don't get anything for it. But this little thing is going to help me to raise money for the channel and to cover the cost of the channel and the work that I do so I can keep this up. And then for the people who get the first Crypto Pro NFT, you will get something of high value. I will work for you, and you'll find out more about that in the future. Thank you very much, Beach Hawk. I appreciate that. So that's all I have. I'm going to try to see if I can find where the ending button, Pancrap Slop. I'll leave you with that. I'll look at Pancrap Slop real quick before we end. Let me go back to charts. Why am I not able to get back over here? There we go. There's the chart. Let's pull up cake. Pancrap Slop. Okay. Oh, good Lord. That's the 1 week. That's looking awful. This sucker's going down. Way down. It might go back down towards $1. Divergence and nasty crossover on the stochastic 1 week, and the MACD looks just completely disgusting and ugly. Yeah, there's a death cross on the 1 day. This is ugly. Oh, good God. Yeah, there's nothing catching this thing. Nasty on the stochastic, nasty on the MACD. It could be down at like $4. There's nothing left to catch it. No. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's hideous. I was first going to buy into Pancrap Slop at $1. If it hits $1 again, I'm going to buy back in. That is for sure. So that is what we have. Cake Swap, yeah, that probably, yeah. They're coming down. Coming way down. It'll be a great buying opportunity, and I'll probably get it at that point. So anyway, that is all I have for now. I guess I better catch some Z's as I got to get up first thing in the morning and teach an aerobics class. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you soon.